Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can everybody hear me okay? Let me just start out with that. Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah, I was talking to a client and he really made me feel good. I was talking to him yesterday. He said that he started with me a couple of years ago, but he said something that almost made me feel like I'd really discovered the secret sauce, because he said, Tom, when I started with you, I thought there was something there. And he said, after working with you for the last 2 years, my whole thought process on investing and trading has changed. And I'm really doing well because I've listened and made the mistakes you normally make when you start something, but doing really well now because the things that he said, I got to thinking about it in his own field, the mistakes he had to make to be a success there, okay, is because you work on this kind of stuff and you really try to get good at it. It's a hard game, though. At the end of the day, your emotions take over. When it's money, your fear and your greed take over. And so we try to educate you and give you more understanding of the process. That's why we illustrate what we do and do what we do. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Now let's go look at the MTI indicator, MTI by DTI. In fact, what I do with MTI, I try to figure out whether, and I like the short term because that's more my style of trading. I like to look at the short term side, and I've really got a better understanding just how valuable it is when I look at MTI by DTI. Let's go look at it live, and I'll go through a few things and get Jonathan if you can. Jonathan, start out with the E-mini. Put the E-mini in there and let's look at it. Now, if you put the E-mini in there, the E-mini, and the reason I always like to start with the E-mini is because, as I tell you, 75% of all stocks move with the E-mini. And so the top white line right now, Jonathan, is what, 59.68? 59.68?
Yeah, that's what I see.
Does everybody see that on MTI, 59.68? Tell me you see that. Once you get above that line, then you got what we call order flow is coming to the general market. But let's go look at a stock that's sort of getting my attention today. It's called CoreWeave, CRWV. Does everybody see CoreWeave? It's ahead of the general market, isn't it? Now, we've got an option play there, Jonathan, but the options have been impressed with the way they do their options because what do we have, a 77.80, and it's up here at 91?
Yeah, that's correct there, Tom.
Yeah, we should be getting filled all day long at the price. What are we trying to get, $1.70?
$1.70 to $1.80. And that's where they have the midpoint marked right now, but
did we get filled? I had an order setting in to get filled. Did anybody get filled on that? Yeah, I got filled, Jonathan. Yay!
all right, you got to 180.
Hey, I started to say pretty soon I'm just going to go for the whole $3.
Right.
But the options are got to catch up with the stock. But the stock, if you look at it, you can see it's getting ready to take out the high. See that high, 92, where is it? 92, what is it, Jonathan? 92 something?
92
to the left.
Yeah, 92.44 is the high.
Yeah, 92.44. So once it gets above that, I might do another option play. Okay. This stock, in my opinion, now I don't own the stock itself, but this stock, in my opinion, came to play. I think that's something that tells me, wow, they're buying it. Now let's look at Tesla. Tesla.
Hey, Tom, before we move on, that's a good lesson in liquidity and options. We talked about option expiration and whatnot, time decay in the last session, but we didn't talk about liquidity. And this was a good lesson on liquidity and importance of using limit orders when you're trading options.
Yeah.
especially
Yeah, you
something
gotta
like this.
use limit orders on stocks like this. I knew that going in, okay? And the reason, I mean, Boeing, let me just talk about Boeing, switch the subject. Boeing's a stock I never trade options on because the liquidity of the options are terrible. And even though you might see Boeing, in a buy signal right here, you might have took under normal circumstances, but you got to buy the stock. Experience has taught me never trade Boeing options. I've lost money on Boeing being right 9 out of 10 times because the options won't fill when they need to fill. And so I just ignore Boeing from an option trade. That's just through experience, I learned that, okay? But that's liquidity. I mean, they just don't fill you in Boeing. Cracker Barrel used to be the same way. That's another one. And you notice I bring these up because I tried to do it, make good plays, but I ended up losing money. And I don't want to lose money, so I don't trade them. Let's go to Tesla. And Tesla's been very good to me, Tesla over time. But Tesla today, if you look at Tesla on MTI, the stock's at 348. Earlier this morning, it went to, I think 352, 53, didn't it, Jonathan? What was the high of the day?
Well, I got a high print up at 354.5 or so.
Yeah, 354. This stock, if it gets above that big number, which is, where's that white line at, Jonathan?
The top MTI line looks like 346 or so.
Yeah, okay. So this is where I would look at Tesla, but I would go look at the roadmap software and say, where does Tesla fit here with Genesis? And that's what I would look at. So then you get there a couple ways, either through the secret weapon or bringing up the roadmap. I can give you the number by typing it into my roadmap. I'll do that to save a little time here. Do that real quick. Tesla. Jonathan's bringing it up. Okay, there's Tesla. Where's that white line of Genesis on Tesla, Jonathan?
The Genesis bar high is 350.08.
Yeah, so I'd say 350, 55. If it happens in a couple hours, I'd probably buy a Tesla. Maybe another option there. Now, that's just knowing that stock. It's had money flow. Tesla's had money flow since the sunrise signal came out this morning, and it's just gone up. It went up. It popped early. I had it in the pre-market bought, and the stock itself did quite well. So that's Tesla, and you can see it right there on Tesla. So if you look at another stock that's got my attention is MU. MU, put MU in there, Jonathan. And again, I'm going to ask the question, where's the top of the white line? Was it 98.25?
Yeah.
Then you look to the left of that, and the body of those is about what, 98.50 would take you bullish on that stock, 98.50. Okay.
Yeah, the highs of these two candles here is around 98, 50 to 60, 65, that area.
So a trade that I would do on MU, rather than buy the call since it's slow moving, I might sell a put income trade on that, taking the low white line, which is what, 98, maybe drop it down to 97, 96 and do a put spread. Okay. And that's exactly how you find what I call the good trades. NVIDIA's out of play today. It's down at 133. TSM's out. AMD's out. Palantir, put Palantir in there. Palantir. Where would Palantir have to go to turn bullish?
Palantir made a high this morning on RB3. Looks like up at 128.20.
Yeah, so 128.55 would take Palantir bullish. Write that number down, 128.55. But if you look at the overall market right now, you got a market, in my opinion, that is digested. And here's a stock I've been watching now for a week and a half. Seems like a lifetime. Pony. Look at Pony. Everybody see that? Pony? I ain't even looked at options on that, but I might consider just buying the stock on Pony. In fact, I think I'll do that. Let me do that real quick. Find a spot and do it. Pony.
He had earnings this morning, pre-market.
Pony did?
It did. Yep.
Breaking out, isn't it? Well, let's look. Well, I'm looking at there. It went to 1842. Hold on. Let me see where we're going. 1869. Maybe I'll hold off and wait a little bit longer. But it looks to me like it's in a buy type area. And I would consider buying it this afternoon. Okay. That's Pony. Keith said he's going to pony up. I like the name, don't you? Pony. That's a stock. Look, if the E-mini was above its breakout number, I'd be more apt to take risks. Does everybody understand how I measure my risk when the E-mini is churning? All right, put the TQQ in there. No, Robin, we just took profits on CRWV. We just took profits on that trade, okay? But having this tool, which is the MTI by DTI, really gives you an edge when you're doing setups. Very quickly, we've gone through about 12 stocks. Jonathan, for fun, why don't you run the opportunity scanner for this?
Yeah, great. Definitely can do that. Let me bring it up real quick. Let's see. I got the NASDAQ 100 showing here.
Yeah.
So I'll bring it over. Got a bunch of green starting with whatever PCAR is. The Micron, there's your Micron. Dollar Tree. We got Meta down here. Let's see what else we got. Microsoft. Adobe. What it's telling you is that if it says greater than a number and the box is dark green, that means that stock has been in an MTI buy signal ever since it got above that number. So if you look at
on a daily basis, right?
That's on a daily basis. That's correct. Thanks for pointing that out. Like Micron, 88.5 was the number. It's been a buy ever since that, according to MTI by DTI. It's currently 98, about 10 points higher. Let's see what else we got here. What was the next one I mentioned? Meta. Meta's been a buy since 611. It's at 637. Microsoft 435 was the number. It's now 456. Tesla 311 was the number. It's at 348. And Nasdaq's got quite a bit long. It only has 4 right now that are short. If we scroll up, there are 2 new shorts today, AEP and PepsiCo, 3 new buys today.
Is that what the light green says today?
Yeah, that's today. That's right. Yeah. And we got several that are getting close to going. It'll say 2Go S if it's getting close to going short, or it'll say 2Go L if it's getting close to going long. So really neat opportunity scanner that comes with MTI by
Morris says, is this real time?
This is real time. That's right.
Donna asked, what do the numbers after buy or sell represent?
What does the number? Yeah, like I said. Oh, on the new ones that are bright red or bright green, that's like it says for PepsiCo, it says short 3 cents. It's 3 cents below the line, or now 4 cents below the line that got it short. So in terms of the MTI by DTI, what you see on the charts, which are those white MTI lines, we are 4 cents below the lower MTI line on PepsiCo now. PepsiCo is also below its monthly open, has to be for it to trigger a short. And then on the longs here, Moderna is 61 cents above. Regeneron, I think is what that is $4.46 above the signal. So that's on the day up. Now, if we close above that number, whatever $4.46 lower is from the current price, if we close above it, then it will turn into a dark green and it'll give you your buy above number. So pretty dynamic little opportunity scanner here. Good to go over what it tells you. Well, you'll see it fluctuate around since we are live, Morse.
All right, so I get asked this question a lot. Which one do I like best, MTI or the roadmap? Well, the roadmap is really probably the closest to me because it's got a lot more capability as far as the compass charts, the ETR line, how things are lined up. But MTI and the roadmap together is an unbeatable team. Okay, and let me ask you a question. Is anybody here not have MTI? Just tell me if you don't have MTI. I'm just curious. If you don't have MTI. Hey, Conrad, no MTI? Okay. Frank has no roadmap on it, okay? If you want to learn more about MTI, go to Learn More and click Learn More. And you can get it immediately on there if you don't want to have to learn more and just want it. You go to dtitrader.com/MTI. I always ask people the question, would you rather go into a competition, that's what this is, a competition with the odds in your favor, or maybe half the odds in your favor? I always, anytime I put money at risk, it's what we're talking about. I want to have all the odds going my way, even when you have that, okay? You have, it's still a hard game, but you don't have a chance competing against MTI by DTI, roadmap, and the Genesis all working for you, or the the tools inside each, in my opinion. I don't think you keep up. I can't keep up. I've been trading for 40 something years. Anybody agree with what I just said? Tell me if you agree that having MTI, Roadmap, and Genesis really improve your trading. Look what SP just said. He said it better than me, Jonathan. Carol says absolutely. Thanks, Robin. I don't know about that, but anyway. Makes me feel good to hear it, though. You know, Jonathan, do me a favor, throw up that tab of what I've closed out. Look what Mark said. Look what Mark, that is what I want to hear. Everybody's got to read what Mark just said. That's the story of MTI right there, all in that paragraph. John, if you ought to save that, that is so good. His words are a lot better than mine.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, for doing that. Mark, where are you from? Oh, thanks, Mark. Helen says, yeah, techniques. It's really great how you expand your knowledge after playing with it. Rob said, all you can say, Mark's comment, ditto. Jonathan, we're going to come back at 1, right? We're going to talk about Genesis at 1, I think, right?
That's right. Yep.
Why don't we come back at, let's do this, Jonathan. Let's come back at 12:45 and do the Genesis slide deck for everybody. And then that gives us a little time to be live before we end our session today.
Okay, so we got about a 20-minute break or so.
We'll take a 20-minute break. You don't want to miss this next presentation, okay? Again, I'm going to do more of these, I think, because the feedback's been outstanding where I have some combined meetings like this. Everybody happy I'm doing this way, where we did one last Friday. This week we're doing one on Tuesday. Y'all like this, where we can get together and iron out some of the things that get in the way? Yeah, good. If Claire likes it, it's got to be good. You know, I keep waiting for the E-mini to go in a buy because I got a bunch of trades. Jonathan, do you have that slide before we go? Post all the trades we closed out this month. I want everybody to see by having patience, using these tools, okay? Look at that, page 1. This is quite a record, isn't it? Look at page 2. Look at that loss, small loss. Some people made money, but we took a loss on the books. Page 2. All right, folks, we'll be back in 18 minutes. Set your seats like you've never seen before. Genesis.